Okay, I got a question. This is number 19 on the homework for chapter 8. And the question reads, when exposed to UV light, chlorine and hydrogen gases explosively combine to form hydrogen gas. Remember, chlorine is Cl2. Oh, hold on. Chlorine is Cl2. Hydrogen is H2. And hydrogen chloride is HCl. That's the product of the reaction. So first we need to write out the reaction. Chlorine gas plus hydrogen gas makes 2HCl. Okay, and then the question says, assuming a sufficiently strong reaction vessel, how much HCl in atmospheres can be formed when hydrogen and chlorine are each at 5 atmospheres? So what we need to do is compare the number of moles of gas that can be formed. And this is also making use of Dalton's law of partial pressures. So one thing to know, we start out with 5 atmospheres of gas, chlorine, and 5 atmospheres of hydrogen gas. This is before the reaction occurs. And by Dalton's law of partial pressures, the pressure of each gas, which we call a partial pressure, is added to the total pressure in our vessel. So at the start, we have Cl2 and H2, and there's 5 atmospheres of each. And notice that the stoichiometric coefficients are 1 each. So those 5 atmospheres add up to a total of 10 atmospheres in the reaction vessel. And notice how, let's just assume that these 5 atmospheres each come from 1 mole of gas. And so there's 2 moles of gas total in the reaction vessel. After the reaction occurs, those 2 moles of gases that were each reactants create 2 moles of HCl. So what's key to recognize here is that everything else is held constant, and so the number of moles is going to be proportional to the partial pressure. And because we had 2 moles of gas at the start, and then after the reaction occurs we still have 2 moles because it's 1 and 1 make 2, then it's going to have the same pressure. So it's going to be a P total of 10 atmospheres. And that will be your answer. I'm trying to think, this was a tricky one, and I'm trying to think if there's a better way to describe it. But basically, all things being equal, if you have the same number of moles, the pressure will be the same. And because we had 2 moles of gas on this side, and then when they all react, we have 2 moles on this side, the pressure will be the same.